The presenting sponsor of this episode of Banana Island Living podcast is Banana Island School. Banana Island School is a school with happy kids and very high expectations. So why don't you check them out? Go to mail@bananaislandschool.com, go to the website www.bananaislandschool.com, or just check them out on Instagram @bananaislandsch. That's Banana Island SCH. Hello and welcome to season 5 of Banana Island Living podcast. I've got somebody with me today that I feel like I've known her forever, but we've had quite a journey. Usually I'd start with a backstory, but I'm not going to start with a backstory. I'll let Sarah Boulos, tell her own backstory. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So my backstory is very interesting. It started in 1996, where I came to Nigeria at 26 years old. From Houston, Texas.
Whoa. So you're American?
Yes, I'm actually an American citizen. I'm originally from France, and I was born in Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou.
Good Lord. Yes. You've been everywhere. Okay.
And then went to boarding school in France, and my father is Lebanese. My mother was French. And I think my backstory is a journey of overcoming, of society, of tragedy, of success and victory, of understanding that when you are called to be in Lagos, you've got to be ready for the unknown.
Right. I mean, you seem to have, I see you as Nigerian. I mean, you've integrated yourself so well. And one of the things I admire about you is that it's not just being a foreigner here we're privileged, we're all privileged, but you're conscious of your privilege and you're very into giving back. You're aware of the sensibilities of the people here.
You know, it's interesting because when I came to Lagos, the first thing I did was charity.
Right.
I was working with Score Nigeria PLC, my father's company, but I was much more aware of no matter what, I have to give back. So giving back is part of my DNA, I think, of my values in life. But I never knew that I could actually giving back, fall in love, and be part of something that I thought I couldn't be. And it was something totally new after that. But that period of my first 10 years in Nigeria was more working and being part of the American Women's Club or helping Small World or doing a lot of expatriate.
Yeah, expatriating quotes,
because I was very sensitive that I'm white.
Yeah. So you said that before we started, that you're conscious of being a white person in Nigeria.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Because,
and what does that encompass?
No, I think what happened is that the Lord reminded me many times, especially when I had my transformation of faith. He said, you are here to serve, and you are here. Nigerians are kings and queens, and you're serving them. And you're doing everything you've got in you to make sure that they will be okay.
Right.
And that was the story. So I always say, okay, these are Nigerians, and I am fresh American living in Nigeria. I'm part of the system. I'm part of the whole atmosphere, but I will always be aware of who I am. And the white skin in Africa is a minority.
Right.
And
is it a privilege minority?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Right.
We have people in Apapa who are Lebanese.
Yeah.
They are white, and they're not. There's some upper middle class Nigerians who have more money than them. Yeah. So we are part. I've seen some white African that are poor in West Africa. So and they're living very meekly. So it's not about privilege.
Right.
It's about deciding that if you are in Africa and you don't have a black skin, even if you admire everything and you were raised. I passed my baccalaureate in France because of Senghor.
Yeah.
And my poetry was the African woman.
Yeah.
La femme noire.
Le poète said Senghor.
Exactement. So that is why I think that it's good for me to be always part, but still an outsider.
Right.
So I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
I'm hosted here. And Nigeria has welcomed me. And the way they embrace me with love is overwhelming.
Yeah.
So why don't I contribute back?
Yeah.
But I cannot call myself a Nigerian. I can only call myself a person who serves Nigeria.
Right. And how were you born in Burkina?
So my mother's father was the one who installed electricity all over West Africa.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Voltaic.
Okay.
Before
Yeah.
it was called haute volta.
Yeah.
So he was the
Upper
one
volta.
who did,
Yeah.
yes, upper volta. So he actually created a whole electricity line.
Mm-hmm.
And then my father came on a boat from a journey from Lebanon.
Gosh.
And he wanted to go to Brazil so that he could actually escape from the police who was chasing him because he had defended some people in the village. So he took the first boat, he took the wrong boat, landed in Upper Volta and saw the desert. And he said, what am I doing here? And he started selling ice cream. So he was the one who actually created this popsicle.
Wow.
In the early 1940s.
Right.
And now you see popsicle everywhere. But he created the concept of popsicle.
Gosh.
Colorant water in a freezer and you sell it out.
On a stick.
So he started like that. And his mother followed him because she was so scared to lose her son.
Yeah.
So she followed him. She landed in the same boat. Just a few days later. And then from there, he started buying spare parts. And I became, that's why my name was Sarah Fadoul Spare Parts. Pièces détachées. So
sorry, Sarah Fadoul Spare Parts?
Yes, that's what they used to call me.
Oh my goodness.
So it was very interesting. And then the second thing that happened that I remember was that my father met my mother. My mother was married and my father saw her, fell in love, and he was looking for the mistake in the marriage that he can take her. He found out that the husband was cheating. So
how did he find out?
That's it. He did his research. He spied. He's a businessman, isn't he?
Yes.
So he found that, and he found out one day that she had found out that the husband was actually dating his old girlfriend from school. So my father took advantage of that and basically almost kidnapped my mother on Christmas Day.
And it was love.
And it was love. And so it took a long time for them to get the divorce done. And then I was born about a year later.
Right.
So I was born on the 23rd of December, 1970. And I think they had met just a year before.
Gosh, in Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso. And that's how I was born.
And then how did you come to Nigeria?
So what happened is that fast forward, I go to boarding school.
Right.
And then in my last year of boarding school, I'm not doing that well. And then my father takes me out of boarding school, takes me to Lebanon. In Lebanon, within 6 months, I meet my husband and my future husband. And we got married 8 months later.
How old were you?
High school sweetheart. We're 18.
Gosh.
And we're 17 and a half. And he was 17 and a half, and we're turning 18. And we had to go and travel. And in Lebanon, there's no way you can date at that time. You had to have actually a permit to date.
To date?
Yes. It was very conservative because the girls...
Was it Christian?
It's a Christian, very strong Christian conservative area of Lebanon. Yeah. And my father didn't want any scandal. So he said, you want to see each other, you've got to get married. So basically, for us to study together, we had to travel out, we had to get married. So we got married very quickly. There's a whole backstory behind it. That's I think, another podcast.
So it was another story entirely.
But that's how I ended up in the U.S. because he's half Lebanese, half American. He also has the French citizenship, but most of his family was based in the U.S. So rather than for us staying in France, we moved then to Houston, Texas.
And then how did you get to Lagos?
So I went through Houston Baptist University, studied chemistry, biology, went to University of Texas School of Public Health, studied public health as a master. And my husband was just graduated from law school. And then my father found out that he was hired by Lord Benson to work in a firm in New York. So we're moving to New York. My father said, no, not all these years and you're not coming to work for me. He bought SCOA Nigeria PLC because he knew we were English-based to make sure that we come back to Africa and we run it.
Gosh.
So we were golden children.
You were trust fund children. So your husband agreed to work for your father?
My husband agreed to work for him. He was just fresh
Were
out
you
of
an only
law
child?
school. No, we were seven. We were six. With my father, we were six, and we're five now. And with my sister, with my mother, we were seven. She had a daughter before she met my dad. So that's basically.
But you were the eldest?
I'm the eldest. I'm the firstborn. Yes, I'm the firstborn, and then I have a brother I have a sister, just turned 50, and then I have a brother who passed away during the tragedy. And then I have another brother, two brothers that are younger than me, about 12 years, and I have a younger sister also.
Are they all out of the country?
All
out of Nigeria.
Africa.
In Africa, but not in Nigeria.
I'm the only one in Nigeria.
Oh my goodness!
There's one in Togo.
Yeah.
There's two in.
All running the business.
Yes. Two in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. My sister doesn't run the business. She works along with my dad, but she has her own business. And then we have one person in Benin, Cotonou.
Gosh.
She travels all over the world with my dad.
But that's fantastic, though. I mean, a family business that's cohesive.
Exactly.
That is something to be incredibly admired.
Yes.
But how did you get from chemistry to Society of the Performing Arts? I mean,
that is so funny. So that background of, I think we all go to school. And we all go to school and we all have to achieve something that is a learning experience for something else. But at the end of the day, if we're not digging into our faith and our purpose, and we find our purpose in university days, it's going to be very hard for us to translate it into a livelihood where we use all our values and we become who we want to be. Or God wants us to be. So basically, I became a ladies in society. I was doing parties in my house. I was working with my dad's company, but I was not fulfilled. There was something missing. And then I had a best friend that betrayed me. Yep.
How do you mean?
Meaning that because I was part of a whole societal, environment, that young lady was my very good friend. I was telling her all the secrets, and she was not invited to all the parties that I was in. So one day she flipped. She went to tell all the stories that I had told her to other people who knew. So basically that whole jet set kind of environment collapsed before my hand. And I was being ridiculed. So I had to do something. So my husband sent me back to Houston. And then my best friend was there in Houston. And she told me, you know what, Sarah, all this is niaiserie. In French, we say it's volatile. Let's find your true essence. Come to church with me. So
that's where you found God?
Yeah. She took me, you won't believe it even. She took me to St. Vincent of Paul Catholic Church.
Right.
And she told me, kneel down and ask God for help. And I'm like, okay, I'm a Christian, but don't go that far. I said, yes, kneel down and ask for help. I said, I'm not going to ask for help. I was like rebellious. She said to me, yes. So she took me 2 Sundays. The third Sunday, I had gone for 3 weeks out of Nigeria. She said, please, Sarah, you've got nothing to lose. Either you say yes or you say no. I will never forget myself. I was 29, turning 30, 8th of December. I go ahead, kneel on the door, and I said, God, if you are out there, I'm knocking on your door, please open it. And suddenly, the pastor or the priest at the time comes in and he says, whoever shall knock on my door, it shall be open. So something maybe that I'd learned when I was a child, Matthew 7:7, was repeated for me at the altar. I didn't talk to the priest.
Right.
So that was the beginning of something new. And suddenly I felt chill. And I really, really sensed a huge peace around me. I was in tears.
Gosh. I mean, you read about this thing, but I didn't think, I don't know anybody that it happened to.
It was very weird. And then I sensed, I am now with you. So I said, who is that? I was like, what's going on here? And I was saying, I heard something. And so my friend looks at me and said, my God, I asked you to kneel. I asked you to have an encounter. It was so funny. She was like, I never heard that. I never had that. Now you're getting that? And from there, my journey to Span started because I was searching for Christ. I was searching for this. But
were you really searching for Christ or somebody took you to Christ?
No.
You thought?
I was searching.
Right.
And then I fell upon the American Bible study.
Right.
So when I fell upon the American Bible study with the American Women's Club, that's why I feel very privileged to still be part of the American Women's Club. Why? Because they took me to that place of learning.
Right.
And then so the ladies' Bible study in conjunction with American Women's Club, in conjunction with LCF, which the Ghost Christian Fellowship at the time, now it's Lively Christian Fellowship. We were there, and I started opening my Bible and I discovered. And I'm still in the same Bible study.
Gosh. But are you still Catholic or?
No, actually, I'm a Catholic by honor.
Yeah.
I have done my confirmation.
Okay.
I've done my profession of faith. But because I dance for the Lord, it's blasphemy in certain churches, Catholic church.
Gosh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So the concept of dancing in a Catholic church is not as welcomed as in a Pentecostal church or a charismatic church.
Yeah.
So I didn't have an opportunity. So I had to go somewhere where I was welcome with my gift. How did I get to dance?
Yeah.
Very simple. And how did I get to spy? 3 years down the road, I'm getting deeper with the gospel. And I'm like, God, okay, now it's time. How do I make you smile? This lady comes in my Bible study and she tells us how to hear the voice of God. So we're all sitting together and she looks at me and she said, Sarah, and I'm like scared. I'm like, oh, this is freaky, because I only heard it once, but like again, it's like freaky. So she looks at me and she said, Sarah, can you pray? I said, okay, I will pray. Ask God to guide you where you want to be today. And so we're all sitting and everybody was speaking for one another. And this lady came and said, Sarah, do you dance? And I'm like, dance? She said, yes, do you dance? And I'm like, yeah, in parties. I said, no, Sarah, you used to dance? I said, yeah, I was doing ballet as a child. And she said to me, you know what? You have to dance for God. I look at her, I'm like, dance for who? And I'm a Catholic, so I'm like, dance for who? Okay, hold on here. What do you mean dance for God? That doesn't exist. I said, yes, it does. I said, so just go search. So I'm like, this is crazy. So one person gives me gospel music.
Yeah.
Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. And I see all this South African music and I'm like, okay, there's worship there. And I hear music and then my body started to move. And I'm like, okay, I stopped the music right there. I said, this is not right. I'm a party girl, So I didn't see the depth of it until I stumbled on my next Bible study called The book called The Purpose-Driven Life.
Is that the one?
My best friend Tanya Word gave me the book.
Yeah.
And I'm reading the book. I'm swallowing the book. After 5 days, I'm reading that life is a test and life is a judge.
Yeah.
So I fall asleep, and in my sleep, boom, I'm about to wake up and I don't want to wake up. So I see a building. I see people dancing. I see people playing music. I see that we are teaching. And I hear 15,000. I hear different things and I wake up. So I go to my Bible study. I said, hey guys, I think I'm going crazy. First, the woman tells me I have to dance for God. Second, I'm seeing like a building that looks like a pentagon. And that's how big it is. And then I see music, dance, and drama and teaching. What is that? And then, of course, my Bible study friend, Nicole, says, that sounds like the performing arts. I'm like, okay, performing arts. So am I supposed to build something that has performing arts in it and a school? Then I let it go.
Right.
Fast forward September 2003. I pick up the Bible study and it's the story of David. And I found out that David is a king and danced before the Lord. So I start saying, okay, dominion, territory, kingship, what's going on here? So I tell you know what, God, please, if you want me to do this thing, whatever it is, just show me the people because I can't do it. I'm white, I'm alone.
Yeah.
And how am I going to help people to dance and sing? And I have no idea about Nigerian culture. I get 8th of December, 3 years later. Remember, turning 30, I'm 33.
Yeah.
3 years later, I'm down. And I'm calling for choral singer, because I want to do a party again. So I want to do Petit Papa Noel and choral song, and we all sing, and we all do like our Christmas song, and we put the Christmas tree, and we share gift, and it's so much fun. I say to this person, so Abi Ayoku, my friend who does my party, said, Sarah, you're talking about David, let me send you the people. She finds the person somewhere in Cactus. The person goes into the car of my daughter, lands into my house, and I say, okay, so guys, what are you going to sing? They told me that you can sing. The man looked at me and said, no, madame, we don't sing. So what do you do? Said, we dance for God.
Wow.
How many are you? 1,000. I said, I asked for people. I didn't ask for 1,000. And that's when the journey started.
Wow. So they became part of your original span?
That's it. Spirit of David became part of Span.
Wow.
And then they founded Span with me. And after that, over the years, we grew so big that they had to separate from us so that it can be more conducive. But that's exactly what happened. So Shagun Lagwal arrived in December. We started talking. And we said, okay, in January, we meet again. So I saw one of their events. I helped them. I charged one of the events. I gave them gift. And I went in Lebanon. On the 23rd of December, I'm having a huge table in Lebanon in a big hotel where my dad is staying. We're staying there with him. And then I have all these ladies who were part of my faith and ridiculed me.
No.
And I invited all of them on a table.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I had to do that. I had a very strong nudge and leading to invite all of them on that table. And I asked them for their forgiveness.
Oh.
And I said, ladies, it's my birthday today. I'm turning 33. And I would like to honor you today by saying sorry. We were part of parties. We were part of everything.
But that's incredible that you're brave or also big enough to do that.
I think you need to close certain doors in life to remove the blind spot that prevents you from achieving something in life.
Yeah.
And unless you can close that door and forgive, you cannot be empowered to do something else for some other people. It's going to be very hard. You're going to just hide as a shadow and you're going to be a mirror just to help society, but without understanding who you are so that you can really hear from God so that God can put you and ask you to dominate in the territory that you've been given. So I had to do this, but behold, I didn't know what would happen for me 24 hours later.
What happened?
So 24 hours later, we are sitting on Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. And we hear that there was a phone call. And my aunt and uncle, which is my aunt that is the aunt of my husband, married my uncle. That's how we met. Left candle on the Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree caught fire. And they died asphyxiated.
Oh, that's horrible.
So we had this huge tragedy on Christmas Day at midnight. We had to go and drive to the village where the family house was, and we saw the tree. Everybody's shocked. These people are the one who raised me in my last year of baccalaureate. So I was really devastated. Somebody gave me a pill. I fell asleep. We wake up in the morning. We see the bodies in the church being, because they have to pray over the body or whatever. I'm there. I'm devastated. I called my mom. My mom says, I'm on the way to the airport to catch a flight to go to the funeral. I tell my mom, okay, we'll see you later. It's Air France. And she says, yes. So everything is cool. I'm going to see my family. We're going to be together. We're crying, but it's okay. We're going to manage it because we're together.
Yeah.
Within few hours, my husband takes me and says, we need to go down. It was 6:00 p.m. In Lebanon, about 3-4 p.m. in Benin, where they left from.
Yeah.
We get my husband is in the car. I said, Sarah, I need you to come down. Said, what? As she said, something has just happened. Said, okay. Said, your family took a plane. They changed the plane and the airline tickets. There are 5 of them. And the plane landed in the sea and they are trying to find them.
What?
And I'm like, what? And he says, okay, Sarah, calm down. Let's go see your dad. We get to the hotel where my dad was because he didn't come back. He already knew. And we see the CNN crash.
Whoa, is that the Air France?
That was not Air France. That was a stupid plane, partly owned by a guy called Mr. Gerche, who actually has business in Nigeria.
Gosh.
He's hiding somewhere in Nigeria. And had a plane called UTA. The pilot told him the plane cannot take off, it's too heavy. And the owner of that plane was in the plane and said, take the F plane off. And the people who were in the plane didn't get out of the plane. And unfortunately, my family was sitting somewhere. Some people survived. 21 people survived. At 185. He survived.
The owner of the plane survived.
And the pilot survived. My family died. And I buried my brother, my sister-in-law the father of my sister-in-law, my cousin, my mother, on Christmas Day, because they were going to the funeral. So on Christmas Day, I buried 7 members of my family, basically.
How are you still standing? Your faith?
Span.
Yeah. A span.
Span, my family and my faith.
Yeah.
Became my anchor.
Gosh.
And if I didn't have the vision of span
given
to me 4 months before, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And I launched the Society for the Performing Arts in Nigeria on the 4th of December, 2004, 1 year almost after the accident. I did not hesitate because there's 2 things when you have a tragedy like this. Either you drown.
You go under,
and you can't come back up.
Yeah.
Or you tell yourself, okay, so what do I do with that? I was able to have the grace and the gratitude in my faith to give me the courage to go ahead and not forget, but live with that pain through contributing to others.
Yeah.
You know, and I went through counseling after that.
Yeah.
But I needed to do something. And the whole Nigerian community, expatriate community,
came
around
around.
me. You know, they did an advent calendars that every year I'd never forget that I'm not alone.
Oh.
So beautiful.
That is so lovely.
Beautiful. I cannot but say thank you.
I don't know how you do it. But then if everybody sees you now, you know, oh gosh, I mean, Sarah is living, I mean, your son is married to Trump's daughter.
Yes, exactly.
They don't know your backstory. They think it's all, you know, oh, she's so privileged and everything. Right. And what I liked about you, and I still do, is first of all, not just how down to earth you are, but how, I don't know if the word is humble. I don't think it's humble. It's just that there are no sides to you. Do you understand what I mean? No. What you see is what you get.
Exactly.
You know?
I can't, you know, it's funny because I'm good. I think I can be very good in theater. But when it comes to me, people will know I'm a transparent. There's nothing.
I prefer that. You know, for good or bad.
But by being honest and vulnerable and authentic, we create deeper connections with people that we meet, and we don't waste our time. Yeah. Time is such, you know, seeing my parents going, my father is still alive, but seeing my mother not even being able to really say goodbye. Oh. And my brother was 27, she was 20, she was 24, they had kids, they left kids here. They are, you know, thank God now those kids are getting married and have kids, but it's deeper than that. When my son, it's so funny because when my other son, Ferris, called me and said, Mom, you prayed for someone to go into Mikey's life. And are you ready for that? And I said, what? And he says to me, he met Tiffany Trump. And I was walking in New York when he called me. And I said, okay, what do you mean Tiffany Trump? Is it like the Trump? She said, Mom, yes, the Trump. I said, and the Trump, the president of the United States? And she said, how did he meet her? And I'm like,
how does that even happen?
How does that even happen, you know? And my son said, Mom, you prayed. You prayed that Mikey would meet someone that would turn him around, that he would see life from a different perspective. And here you go. And 5 years down the line, they are married. So at the end of the day, when I walked into the White House the first time and I saw what was going on and I lived it through. I lived the disparity and the separation between the nation in the US. But at the same time, I lived with the understanding that if I'm walking in faith, there is nothing that can happen to my family. So I need to remain steadfast and aware that I am here as I'm hosted. So the White House is the people's house. When you walk into the White House, you feel that you're an American citizen and it's the people's house. When you meet Donald Trump or Melania or all these people who have a certain status, you look at them from that point of view and you tell themselves that they are God's servant or people's servant for the people and they are appointed. So already your state of mind changes. Because you put yourself under an environment that it's not, oh, I have to humble myself. No, I was very happy to walk and eat and be part of it. Why not?
But you are somebody too. I mean, you may be humble, but you are somebody too.
But I did not take it I did not take it as it was owed. I took it as an adventure and a journey of the unknown.
Yes.
That's a new journey that my son is taking. How, as a mother, I can help him.
Yeah.
Same thing with my son here, Oibo Rebel, who started all these things during COVID, and he took on the world. My little girl,
he does
Sophie.
rapping.
Yes. And my little Sophie that was at your school.
Yeah.
That is mini rebel, has 10 million followers on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, how does this happen? But I realized that every day is a new day for something that you love to do.
Yeah.
And I love Span. I love what's the gift that God gave me with Span. I get to meet people. I get to teach children. I get to be part of an impact on a global level. The performing art is the forgotten education part of Nigeria. You have a lot of entertainers. You have a lot of
that's the
movie
thing.
stars.
Yeah.
You have a lot of producing. But the active live arts, except for painting today that I've taken, the dancers, the actor, the musician, unless they make it big, they are forgotten.
Yeah.
And God gave me that in my hand to care for. I'm a caretaker.
Okay, I was going to ask you, one of my rapid fire questions, which is not so rapid, is on your journey.
Yes.
Do you think you're like the beginning, the middle, or this is towards the tail end?
I'm in the middle.
Right.
I'm right in the middle. I thought I would be toward the end, but I know that until that building is erected.
Yeah. Which building? Tell me about this building.
It's called the Art Ecotherapy Center.
Okay.
And it's art therapy because mental health is a big issue in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that rather than just building an academy, I should be able to begin a clinical side of it so that art therapist can come and can help with the arts and build up.
Right.
So I have a little land in Eco Atlantic and I'm actually trying to raise funds to erect the building.
Right.
And
this is your legacy for Nigeria.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's right now, this is a small size of it. It's still big, but it's not as big as a performing arts center.
Yeah.
It's a prototype.
Yeah.
So if this works well, then other places can grow and you never know.
Yeah.
You know, and people can come on board and they could have productions there. It could be something beautiful, but first and foremost, education and healing. That's the two things that come. So it's got to be very sustainable and very nature surrounded. So when people enter, they just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And it can heal.
Yes, especially in Lagos where everything is so hectic and busy and it's all tall buildings and
this
whatever.
one is full of trees and full of nature.
Well, I will be there when you open it. From your mouth to the ears of God, as we say.
Just declare it blow.
Do you know, let's speak it into existence.
Exactly. It has already been spoken.
Okay.
But you know that connection of knowing that you wake up every morning.
Yeah.
And you know that you are in the right space of your life. And you're taking territory and you're taking dominion. And you know that you're doing it with love. And you're being taught how to be a better person.
And you're being authentic. You're being your true self.
And you're realizing that failure is okay.
Yeah.
Falling down and coming back up is okay. Finding your mistake is okay. And loving to be, I love to fail.
Right. I don't. But
I love to fail because when I
hide
fail,
away when I fail.
I opened my blind spot. I opened. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And finding myself is the journey of the unknown into the known.
Yeah.
But the ultimate known is that grace that we've been given and that we're waiting for me. It's another place.
Yeah.
So that's the reward.
Yeah. Do you find people treat you differently now that, her son is married to this and...
100%.
They still... people do that?
100%. So it's very interesting.
Good or bad?
Both.
Right.
There is the shock, the dismay, poor thing. And then there
What do they mean, poor thing?
Like, good luck to me. I'm Trump-in-law.
Okay, right. With all the baggage.
Yes. And then I remember what Donald Trump said at the wedding of Michael. He said, I am honored to be here. I'm honored to have Mikey associated with us. As you know, Mikey was raised in Nigeria since he was 3 months old.
Yeah.
And I am honored to call you family. And I am honored that we're going to be family for many, many years.
Oh, fantastic.
So the way he said it, every time I see the two sides of how he's considered in the world, because he has two sides.
Yeah.
people love him or people don't like him.
Yeah.
So that's
it.
And we are in the middle.
Inherited it.
I've inherited that.
You've inherited the baggage.
I meet the people who love him and they want to hug me and embrace me. And I meet the people who cannot stand him. I'm like, okay, 9. And then I meet my Nigerian brothers and sisters.
Right.
Who tell me, Sarah, whether Trump or not, we are with you.
Oh, that's lovely.
So I see those 3 contrasting, so I've got to like take it with a pinch of salt and say, thank you.
It is what it is.
I love it. And just
it
live
is
with
what
it.
it is. Yeah.
That's
but
it.
no, what I loved, I saw some pictures on social media, was that you brought the Nigerian contingent.
Oh, yes.
Even your pastor was from Nigeria.
Yes, exactly.
You brought the Nigerian music. They were boogaing away. Do you know?
First, Donald Trump was so amazed because, of course, it was our nephew who organized the whole event for the wedding. So when he saw his golf club transform with flowers, he said, oh, I never saw that we could do this with the golf club. This is such an amazing and impressive thing. And, of course, there's this whole thing of, do you spend your money wisely? How do you spend it for a wedding? Will it ruin you? So all these things were taken into consideration. So we're there. And then suddenly, my son, Oibo Rebel and Sophie and Oriane, all of them said, let's put the music. And you see, everybody woke up.
The Nigerian music?
I mean, the music is everywhere. You enter Marshalls, you enter Macy's, you have Afrobeat. Everybody is like dancing on Calm Down, and the whole golf club woke up.
Oh my goodness.
And everybody came to learn how to dance, and our Nigerian friends were there and we were dancing. It was a small wedding.
Yeah.
But the impact of the Nigerian friends and everybody and the young people, this country is rich with love, with passion, with giving back, with contributing. Let's forget
all the issues.
Whatever.
We have too many of that. Let's look at the positive.
We are special people.
I think so.
I'm telling you.
Wherever they go, they have to leave an impact.
They shine. They stand out. They love and they appreciate and they are grateful if they know that you are here for them.
Yes. I think the authenticity is always something that people don't expect, and when they do, they really appreciate it.
Exactly. So Nigerians are kings and queens. I remind them myself every day, and they shine. And when they want to shine for a force of good, it's spectacular.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Okay, so this is my rapid fire, not so rapid fire.
Okay.
What's on your bucket list?
My bucket list is to actually be part of a big TV broadcasting station.
Right.
Yeah.
Your own or part, or as you said?
I would love collaboration.
Okay.
I would see that something.
Where, in America, in Nigeria?
In Africa.
Okay.
And imagine that you don't have to pay a fee.
Yeah, okay, free. Okay, yeah.
That it's available for everyone.
Okay, so a proper broadcasting channel.
Yes. And they can open their phone and watch, rather than watching something that is not really appropriate, let's say, or negative. They see things that gives them inspiration, joy, wakes them up,
I will be watching out for you. Okay, Sunday morning, church or chill? From what you said, I'm sure it's church.
Yes, I have church and I have chill. Why? Because my husband chills. So I've got to do both.
So you rush to church first thing in the morning.
Then I chill.
And then you come back and chill.
Yes.
Excellent. So who do you admire most?
Well, there are many people that I have reverence for in this world. But if I really admire a person, he's with me all the time. His name is Jesus.
Oh, wow.
He's the one that I ultimately admire. Because when he was on earth, he didn't waste time.
No, it's 30-something years and every minute meant something. And look at the impact.
Exactly.
Look where we are today.
So that is the first person I would say. Now,
a human, dead or alive.
Yes,
but
live person today.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting, but I love the way he provokes things.
Okay.
It's the rich man who just bought Twitter.
Elon Musk?
Yes.
There's a whole chapter to be written in this world about him. Yeah.
He's very intriguing.
Do you admire him or he just intrigues you?
He's intriguing me. I don't admire him, but the guy comes up with the most surprising
out of the way
decision. in the world, and you're
But he goes with it.
Yes, he goes with it. He's very focused, and
Totally
he goes all the
off
way.
the wall, but somehow he goes after it.
So that is somebody that I'm actually started following, because I'm like, okay, this guy is something else. I don't understand.
Well, you're on Twitter
going. On
now?
I just came back on Twitter because he honored Donald Trump. So, but then I'm following him and said, what are these things he's talking about?
He's completely off. Well, you're going to have to pay soon, he said. He said he's going to put a paywall.
I'm telling you, this is crazy.
Okay, so if you weren't doing Span,
yes,
what would be your dream job?
I would be ice skating.
No.
I am telling you, I would be ice skating. If I was not doing anything entertainment, I love to see movies come out with special stories. That's my next goal. I would like to produce movies that have special story to impact the world. But I always wanted to be a champion in ice skating. I don't know why.
Are you a good ice skater?
No.
So maybe when you're 60 or 80, when you're 80, you'll start that one then.
Okay. But that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But God had the privilege to show me a dream where I would be old by the beach with all my grandkids, and I would be signing books.
Okay, well.
So maybe that's the way I will
We will be staying in touch. I'll be your first signee. Okay. If you could live anywhere in the world,
it's a very good question.
Where would it be?
Right now, I'm in Nigeria.
Yes.
So if I was outside Nigeria, I would choose any place that would have a beach.
Okay.
That would have a nice community.
Okay.
Simple community. Mm-hmm. And I would be part of the community.
Yes.
And I would have resident artists everywhere with me.
Any place come to mind?
Well, recently we visited Singer Island.
Okay.
We've seen West Palm Beach. It's very similar to what we've seen in Florida.
Yeah.
But one of the things I told my husband I would love to see before it sink is Bora Bora. I've never seen it.
Right.
And it's an island about to disappear.
Yeah.
So I would love to visit this. I've been...
But not to live in.
No, not to live in. I need people.
And you don't want to disappear.
I need people, I need community, I need purpose.
Yes, okay. So it could be Florida, somewhere in Florida.
But right now, I'm very happy in Nigeria.
In Lagos. Okay. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a morning person until God calls me in the night. And I would go out as a night owl. But because of my responsibility as a mother, I've had to become morning. But I used to be a night owl.
Okay. Well, it's called maturity.
Yes, exactly.
It's called maturity.
You know, it's so funny. Yeah. I wake up with the sunrise and I sleep with the sunset.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's more of what happens to me.
And I see people are more productive, those who do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when do you go on Twitter then?
When I'm in my car.
Okay. You're on Twitter.
My car.
Okay, so what are you reading at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm reading a Bible study called Praise.
Okay.
And I'm reading a book called Tattoo, Not Brand.
Okay.
It's by this person who is huge in New York, and he used to be in marketing. Mm-hmm. And he realized that branding and tattoo are totally different, and we are always tattoos. Brand. So it's a very interesting book.
It's an interesting concept because I interviewed somebody who was talking about branding.
Yes.
And
so most of the brands are not brands. They're tattoos until they become like an Apple or a Nike, and you can see right away the colors. But we are mostly tattoos.
That sounds fascinating.
And when you're tattoos, you become more aware of your identity than when you are a brand. You get lost in brand.
I will check that out. It sounds really deep.
Yes.
What are you listening to? Music.
I listen to a powerful gospel singer.
Is all God with you? Okay, tell me.
Bello.
I never heard of that.
Oh my God.
I always hear of Nathaniel Bassey.
No, T.Y. Bello.
T.Y. Bello.
T.Y. Bello has a powerful anointing into the soul.
Right.
That gets it deep down. You can't listen to a song and just for entertainment.
Right.
Otherwise, I'll go back to the 80s and just sing my song in the 80s and that's it. But the real meaning of what it is to wake up in the morning and listen to something that
inspires you for the day
and really takes you on a journey of positivity or healing or, okay, it's going to be okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
That's T.Y. Bello for you.
Okay, this is something for me to try.
Yes.
So what are you watching on Netflix, DSTV?
So if I'm not, you're going to be interested.
Yeah.
If I am not with my husband.
Yeah.
If I'm with my husband.
You watch something else?
I watch.
The news, maybe?
No, his adventure, his suspense, his intriguing kind of series with some murders. If I'm not with my husband, I'm a romantic.
Rom-coms.
Yes.
Oh, I love rom-coms.
I love
rom-coms. So what's your favorite rom-com?
All right. So I have the recent one was, I love the children's one, which was the bar mitzvah. I love high school stuff because high school are really cool. Yeah. But I'm a Hallmark freak. So I watch Hallmark.
I love Hallmark. In that you never have to worry that something terrible is going to happen.
It's always finishing well.
They always end happily ever after. You always live happily ever after.
Exactly. I love to escape in a world where, everything is cool. And everything is light. And you don't need to think deeper. Yeah. But something else that's very important to me, and I always do it. Recently, I watched Le Chevalier.
Okay. Maurice Le Chevalier?
Yes. No, the story of Le Chevalier.
Oh, right. The actual story.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The classical musician who was forgotten. And
he was mixed race?
Yes, he was mixed race and he was adopted.
Yes. And he had to excel.
Yes, exactly.
His father was a lord or some nobility.
And actually he played better than Mozart. Yes. So for me, I dance ballet on his music today.
Oh, wow.
So I love true stories.
And he was a fantastic fencer.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love true stories. True stories wake me up, bring me to life, and make me understand that life is very special. True stories allows me to know that we all have a life to tell and all a story to tell.
Yeah. So describe yourself in 3 words.
Vibrant, passionate, and a muse.
Ah, you're a muse?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I can listen to someone.
Yeah.
And the person would share their ideas, their gifts, their emotions.
Yeah.
And I would be able to help them find their purpose.
Fantastic. So you're vibrant? You're passionate. I know. I can hear that. You're passionate for God, passionate for Spain, passionate for Nigeria, passionate. And you're a muse. I like that. I've never heard the muse thing before. So that's fascinating. Okay. This is the last one.
Okay.
And this is the best one for me. I remember asking you this at the beginning. And you quickly went on ChatGPT.
The best AI.
ChatGPT. Okay.
But now I didn't go to ChatGPT. I went into the Google and Google gave it to me.
Joke. Okay, tell me the Googled joke.
Yes, exactly.
Tell me your Google joke.
So it's a little kid who says, Daddy, how babies were made for the first time.
Okay.
So Daddy answers, well, my child, there was a person called Adam and another person called Eve. And they had babies. And that's how the babies were made. So the little child goes to mommy and says, Mommy, how babies were made for the first time? And then the mommy says, okay, my son. What happened is that the babies were first monkeys and they evolved into man. And then that's how they were made. They evolved from monkeys to man. And that's how the babies were made. Okay, thank you, mommy. Daddy, you lied to me. What did your mom tell you? That we are born from monkeys. That's her family.
So he believes mommy?
He looked at he must have seen the father and said, Mommy, you're from the monkeys. I'm from Adam and Eve.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sarah. You've been authentic. You've been real.
Yeah.
You've been passionate. And you've just been an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
I really, I've always enjoyed it. Every time we chat.
Yes, and it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, but it's been really, really nice. Now, if people want to get hold of you, if they're inspired by your God journey or your span or your performing art story.
Or they can take my Rafa classes.
Or your Rafa classes. How do they do that?
So they can get in touch with me. It's Sarah Boulos at spanigeria.org.
Okay. And you answer all your emails?
All my emails.
Okay.
I don't have a PA.
Oh, wow.
So I'm the personal.
You're the PA.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then they send me, or they can drop on LinkedIn, or they
Yeah.
can follow me at Sarah Boulos 2020. So, or they send me a message. I have two Instagram, one that is public and one that is private.
Okay.
So Sarah Fadoul Boulos is my private one.
Okay.
And the public one is Sarah Boulos 2020, where I drop occasionally messages and people can reach out to me also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey.
And thank you for listening. Please, please, please subscribe, and we'll talk to you again.